here I am talking to a guy. I think he was on the benefits. He was on the dole queue, taking money from the government, and he's really hard up against it. We just happened to have a basic conversation, and then it just turned into something much more significant. But I was having a conversation with a poor guy, and he didn't really have much money. His financial situation wasn't really great, living off a little bit of the money that he gets from the government. And we got talking, and it turned out that actually he was quite a talented guy. I mean, he had so much knowledge of so many different concepts and systems, and in our whole ecosystem and our whole life as we know it. And the more I started talking to him, the more I was really intrigued, and I just kept on asking lots of questions, and it's a really interesting conversation. And then I just sort of popped the question, which I don't normally do, but I guess we'd now been talking for some time, and I asked him, what do you do for a living? You're a scientist or something? What do you do? And he said, no, I'm on benefits. I'm on the dole queue. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed. And we got talking even more, and I just sort of really wanted to understand his mindset and really understand how he had got himself into this position to be such a sort of talented guy. I mean, we're all talented. We all have talents in different areas, but his talent was very expert. He was a very expert in a specific niche. And as I started talking to him, I started to sort of just ask him questions. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? And are you interested in this? Or what else are you looking to do? What's your goals? What sort of work have you looked at? What sort of jobs were you looking for, or are you looking for? And the more I sort of quizzed him and started understanding his mindset, the more I realized that I could understand now why he was actually in the position he was in, without a job, on benefits, living off the state. And the first thing that stuck out to me was the level of self-doubt that he had. He just didn't believe in himself enough. He just doubted everything. Even at the end of each sentence, he would almost just kind of doubt that it could even happen. So, for example, if he could do a job and he wouldn't doubt that he would start doubting himself that he could even get the interview, or he'd doubt that he would say something like, it'd be a waste of time because it won't come to anything, or even if I start it, I probably won't last very long. And it was just so much doubt, just doubting himself, and lots of limiting beliefs, tons of limiting beliefs, just limiting beliefs everywhere. Oh, I don't like social media. Oh, I don't really use emails. What's this technology? I don't really like using technology. Even my mobile phone, it's really old. It was just fantastic how he could just limit himself so easily and just box himself into a corner. And my theory on it is, obviously sometimes we just get comfortable into a certain state, and we don't, in a certain sort of way of life, and we don't want to change that, and we're comfortable in it, and we just carry on doing it. And especially if the state or the government is looking after you and paying you out a little bit of money, and then I guess you can just become dependent on that, and then you just learn how to live around it and with it. So, but this self-doubt, but obviously that's just going to drive you into the ground, because it's not going to last very long. Your health will start to suffer. It's not very healthy just to live off the state and not do anything else with your time, especially if you're a fairly sort of middle-aged guy. So self-doubt, limiting beliefs, they're all there in abundance. And he was really living through frustrations, lots of frustrations, loads of frustrations. And he was living through his past fears, past failures, past frustrations. And it was just amazing to watch that someone with so much knowledge could be depriving the world of that knowledge. I mean, he could be changing lives. He could be bringing awareness to people that people didn't even know they had. And that people, he could go to pretty much anyone. These skills are sought after, and he's there moping about, telling himself that it's of no use and that he's not really going to amount to anything and it's not really going to happen. So, again, he was living out learnt scripts. So these were protocols that he had learnt growing up. Maybe he saw it in elders, or maybe he saw it in peers, or he saw it in siblings, or he saw it in family. And there were different scripts that he believed that that's the way to live. And so for him, it seemed the only way he knew. It's almost like he didn't know any better. I mean, obviously, I didn't spend too long going into all of this and breaking things down and trying to help him and coach him, because I'm not his coach, but I was just really intrigued and understanding, questioning around sort of things. But then eventually I started to get on to what he thought about his mindset and the current state, and I was asking him about times where he had been successful, or where he had felt really empowered, or where he was actually creating change, even if it was just within a small circle of people. And immediately I started to, there was a shift within him, and he started to really talk about it, and became very comfortable about talking about these things. And all of a sudden he started to feel really empowered, and immediately there was a shift in his state. So the reason I'm telling you the story is because all too often, a lot of us are actually in this situation where we're so comfortable in our current routine, and we're just going through the motions, and we're just moping about. We've got stuck in the same routine, and we're just afraid. Essentially, we're just afraid of change. We're afraid of change. It's change that we're actually afraid of. And because change, in our minds, in our DNA, in our blueprint, we are thinking that change could mean a risk to our survival, or even if you come down a bit lower, a few levels lower, it's also a self-esteem thing. Sometimes it feels more comfortable and more secure and certain to be able to stay doing the things that we're doing. But if it's not serving anyone, it's not serving you, then surely there should be a time to change things. So I would say, start to create a plan of change, and just start taking small steps. So I would start to think, right, okay, what three things can I start to do today to create change? What three things are they? And I'd like you to do this exercise. What three things could I do that could take me to the next level? Even if you're achieving a lot right now and you're doing really well, what could you do? What three things could you do immediately to start sharpening up your business? Or what three things could you do if you're on benefits, or if you're on the dole queue? What could you do right now to actually start to create opportunities for yourself? It could be anything. I mean, you could start hunting for jobs. So get hunting. Start looking for jobs. Or that could be hunting for business. Start calling around to people. Start finding out what the market wants and how you can provide and cater for it. What could be step two? Step two could be to actually commit. So you can say, I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit to an action a day. I'm going to commit to an action a day. I'm going to make sure I do this. I'm going to pick these tasks. And I'm going to do them. I'm going to hunt every day. I'm going to call around. I'm going to look online. I'm going to look for these jobs. I'm going to look for these opportunities. I'm going to try and set up a website, or I'm going to, whatever it is, however small or large that thing is, commit to it and persevere. Perseverance is very important. What could be the third thing? You could actually just maybe find yourself a different environment. So change your environment. So you could say, okay, well, I'm going to start partnering up. So I'm going to find a buddy. An accountability buddy, someone who can actually help keep me on track. And I'm going to help keep them on track as well. So you find somebody who's maybe at a similar place as you, and a friend or somebody else in a forum or wherever. There's loads of people out there struggling with similar things these days, similar challenges anyway, so it won't be a struggle to find somebody. Find that buddy up with them, and just get moving. Take these small steps daily, keep going, and always just keep creating new challenges and new steps for yourself. Oh, that's gone small. So yeah, I mean, learn from this. I mean, are you this guy? Are you this guy that's basically creating all this doubt and limiting beliefs within yourself? Or are you that girl, that's doing this to yourself? It's self-sabotage. You are just destroying yourself. I mean, it's up to you. You can carry on doing it, or you can make a change and actually get moving and change your life, build a life for yourself, as opposed to just going through the motions and not really benefiting, not even yourself or anyone else. And when you could be serving, you could be making the world a much better place, but you're there depriving everyone from that. So it's something to think about. And, we can really change this if we really want to. But it's about snapping out of it and pushing through